Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary direct from our newsroom, otherwise known as my Compost Heap. Let's see what stories we're working on this week. I know we've been reading. The Arts and Ideas Festival starts this weekend, and that's the greatest 2 weeks of the year in New Haven. All sorts of cutting-edge dance and theater and discussions from all over the world. In the last 2 years, what's been especially fun for me is that they started the Big Read. Everybody in town reads the same book and thinks and talks about it, and that's fun. This year they got Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. It gave me the impetus to read it for the first time since childhood, and you always see a book differently when you read it as an adult. And what struck me this time about this book, about the firemen who are supposed to burn all the books and the resistance that grows underground, which are obviously the fun part, is that it's the people who demanded it. Unlike, let's say, in 1984 or other books like that, where the government's imposing control over people and snuffing out intellectual ideas and independent thought. It's the people who wanted the books burned, because they wanted their leaders not to make them think. There's a lesson in that, and it has to do with the next thing in my compost heap, which is 2 pennies. 2 cents. You know what? These 2 cents are more than you're going to save on a gallon of gas thanks to the one real action the state legislature took this week. They called a special section just to get rid of a planned increase in the state gas tax. And all it's going to save you is 1.7 cents a gallon. This from a legislature who spent months doing nothing about the big issues like health care. Why? It's because they think, both parties' politicians think, that that's what we want. We want them to be idiots and to do nothing about real problems. Spend real money for mass transit and alternative energy, so we have less reliance on oil. That would be hard. That costs money. That's tough decisions. Instead, when we're all upset about rising gas prices, do a fake gas tax that they knew was fake. They knew it did nothing, and in fact, it puts the state in a tougher position. We were already told by the governor we can't even start to deal with the health care crisis in a real way because there's no money. And yet there's money to do a gas tax hike cut that is going to do absolutely nothing and put us in a deeper hole. It's our fault. We have to demand that our politicians not be cynical idiots. Now, there's a chance for them to do a little bit of that. The Democrats, now I think I'm spying that there might be a tiny bit of spine in that party left. They might call another special session to override a veto of the governor. The governor vetoed a modest hike in the minimum wage so that 60,000 people can make 35 cents more an hour. They can make $8 an hour instead of $7.65 and get their first raise in years. In these hard times, that's what we need to do. The governor vetoed it with some garbage she got from big employers. Let's push our legislators to do that. What else are you working on? Check out this hammer. There's some do-it-yourselfers around town seeing an opportunity. There's a foreclosure crisis that went up 80% last year, probably going up another 80% in the city. It's happening all over the country because of subprime mortgage crisis and other factors. There are people going to these foreclosure sales. The Independent goes every week, and we see who shows up at these different foreclosure sales around town. They're looking for a good bargain. Hey, I want to fix up houses, start a business, whatever. I'm going to scoop them for a good price. Well, guess what an attorney who handles foreclosures told one of these would-be home buyers at a recent foreclosure sale in the Hill on Truman Street. This guy said, I'm showing up here because I want to learn the biz and see where to get a good bargain and rebuild some houses. This is what the attorney, he said, don't come here in Truman Street, where it's devastated. Go to Fairhaven, because that's where there are a lot of immigrants. I'm not making this up. He said they're all working 3 jobs over there, and what he's observed as a real estate attorney on the ground is that neighborhoods that have more immigrants see home prices rise more because of all the hard work brought into that neighborhood. Just say it. Until next time, this is the Independent Vlog News Summary, and remember, always pick up your trash.